Boom, 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 ba da da da. Ba da 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 da. All right, so not my typical time that I like to come on. Missed the daily candle close earlier, about 6.5 hours ago, but that doesn't mean when a 24/7 market we can't see what's shaking. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to see what is shaking. As always, give me a second just to set everything up properly. Snow, what's going on? So nice to see you. Might as well fire up G-Byte and take a look. We'll just get right there. We'll just get right in there. All right, so G-Byte, we were looking at this historical support resistance level. This is on the daily chart. Still not able to get anything out of this, but this is good news for the bulls. Okay, right here and right here. So it's finished, but it's not released yet. Is the video on volume, and we do mention a scenario like this where volume decreases, price decreases, and that is a bullish indication because you're showing that the exhaustion in current trend is starting to show its hand. So that's a good thing on the daily chart. We can check RSI on this guy, just see what's shaking here. Doesn't look like too much, except it does look like we're around the 50 line. I could have sworn we put a horizontal 50 on here. I guess we didn't, so why don't we do that now? All right, let's set this up. And 50. Okay, so perfect bounce right on the 50, a little topped off, kind of sideways. So nothing crazy here on our side, but I still like this. I'm okay with this. I'd like to see this bounce. I'd like to see something a little bit more convincing and pop up and actually break up through the ascending triangle here. Why don't we check the 4 and just see if we can't see something in a little bit more detail here. We had some bullish moves, nothing crazy. Candles are kind of stagnant. It's just sideways at the moment. And let's check the 1 hour for a little bit more. Nah, there's just not enough trading to even paint proper candles here. So that is what we're looking at for G-Byte. Got our notifications. Nice, very nice. Paul, good evening. Thank you for stopping in. How is everybody? So let's see. Before we get too ahead of ourselves, we might as well check our fan favorite here and scope out what did happen on the daily. Of course, this is the hourly chart. Hourly has been moving up. We just had a little bit of a drop. Nothing too bananas here, but let's see. We hit a low of 38.60, and we're currently back to the 38.80s. So, you know, not an increasing amount to look at here. All right, yesterday's candle was nice. Bullish candle, very good. Up 76, 1.98% with an open of 38.40, close at 39.16. Overall, this is still good for a lot of reasons for anyone who's bullish on this. We wanted to maintain this trend. That's that pink trend line. As you want to be able to maintain that trend and not trade lower than it. If we trade lower, we're testing 382. And then would be previous structure highs over by the 236 down to the 0 line. And then yearly low 31.21, or last year's yearly low 31.21. So it's slowly working its way back. I would imagine if trend continues, we're going to retest these levels over here in the 41.10 zone. and eventually 4144 horizontal support resistance. I still would like to see the full one off the bullish Gartley at 4241. Time will tell. Anything can happen. So we watch and we wait. We see the break from the sim try with the retest is very nice. So this is it's all good. It's just slow. These candles here that only move 1 or 2%, they're a little bit boring to watch, but that's fine because there's plenty of things that are moving. In fact, we have a very large list. This is just Bitcoin. So why don't we go all pairs? Why don't we see what shook out today, what we had going on. Marcos H, what's going on? Yeah, late night with Chingas. That's right. Let's see. In an hour and a half, we're going to move the clocks forward. So 2 a.m. becomes 3 a.m. And for all those not familiar with time change, standard and daylight from America, things are weird. And that's just how it is. All right. So peak gains, 24-hour period. 24 showing on the D1 up moves. This is on all charts. So BTC, ETH, and Tether. We're looking at NXS. NXS. That was a band, right? Or no, that was in excess. Was it in excess? Whatever it was. Doesn't matter. Because that band did not pose 52% gains with a retrace down to 12.5%. So let's see, volume here, 961 and 792, BTC ETH. We got 4-banger for the strong uptrend. Both charts, 5, 15, 30, and H1. So the lower time frames are showing strong trend. We have a little sideways, slightly bullish, and then 3 sideways, slightly bearish, or we could do 2. So I'm going to go with the BTC pair. Why don't we pull this up real quick? NXX BTC. NXS BTC. Can't say I'm super familiar with Nexus, but we'll take a look. Now, don't get too frightened here. This is just one candle. So 41% right now. I'm going to pull the weekly up. We're going to go ahead and we're going to tear this thing apart real quick. Let's see what we got. Weekly chart. All right, massive downtrend. Nothing crazy here. Let's go ahead and throw our horizontals on. Get an idea of important ranges. So we want something like that. We're going to do a top out like that. And we'll do a bottom candle like that. Okay, boom. That's good. Why don't we throw our horizontals, or not our horizontals. Let's throw our trend on here. See what kind of trend we're actually looking at. All right. So something similar to that. And we have this guy up here, right? So we had a bit of a symmetrical triangle. RSI is up on the weekly. Let's swap the daily over here. Let's see if we can see something. So we certainly see a ranged area here that we're trying to break out of. It's a large range, so you do have to be a little bit careful. You don't want to call the whole chart range, but you do want to at least capture what is range, right? So when you pop up and you don't make anything higher than this, you do make one attempt and everything else is just a little wick. Those are all attempts. Didn't quite make it, right? This particular, let's see, this particular pair does have a huge pump and then a pretty severe dump. Not quite a full retrace back down to the one, but not great. Another big spike and another dump. Big spike, further highs, and then a huge dump. Big spike and a dump. Big spike and a dump. So, you know, we continue to go down and down and down and down and down. This candle right here, huge candle up, but a huge dump nonetheless. So, this is what we look for before we get excited about something like this. Very easily could be the same situation. Next thing you know, you bought at the 618 and you're holding it all the way down on like an 886 retracement, and you wait forever to get back up here, which you still haven't done. So range traders would be happy. They would be buying down here and they'd be selling right here, selling again here if they still had a little bit left. They'd be buying again down here, didn't quite make it. All right, now on the actual symmetrical triangle itself, this guy right here, which we could just do something like that and make it a little easier to see. And actually, I'd kind of rather get the body down there, down here. So that's good. We'll leave something like that. Very similar to this. This, in fact, we could do something like that to encapsulate these bodies over here. Good spike and a good test in that ballpark. All right, so this is okay. As far as range is concerned, we did break out of it for now. We are within a parallel channel, and we have broken through a symmetrical triangle. So something like this, we're going to have to zoom in a little bit and sort of dissect what this move is all about. We could see the previous candles up to it was nothing but straight range. That's a pure tight range right here. So this is good. This is something you'll see on these lower time frames, something like that. So it's good to be aware of these things as they show up. Of course, that's the whole thing is just a big rounded area. Okay, round bottom, that's good. All right, so all strong moves coming up on the hourly. That's good, and here's our little pullback. Now, a few things could happen here. You could get a pullback to range or range abouts, but since you also broke this horizontal support resistance, then you could just be retesting that. So why don't we just throw a fib on here just to get an idea of sort of what we're looking at. I'm going to try to get the bottom area here. So let's do something like this. And let me put the right one on. Okay, so something along these lines. Let me get that back over here where it's a little bit more proper. Okay. So currently on the hourly chart, we've pulled back just about to the 236. 236 does line up with our horizontal over here. So let's say if we were taking a better look at that horizontal, do we need to tighten it up on the daily? We painted that on the weekly, so let's go. But I would probably pull it down to these body tops right here. That's good confluence down here. With this move, that was our first area of support after the big, huge dump. All right, we had reversal, so it does give it weight. Touchdown for an attempt, right? Break, pushed up off, broke through, multiple levels, so that's good. This was a rejection. This was a rejection. This was an attempt that never made it. Okay, so, and then, in other words, I like that line, and I'm going to keep it. As far as how this candle's behaving right now, tons of volume, tons of buying, right? Up 40.61% just on that one daily candle. So, but this one I would have to trade on the hourly because I need to see the detail of what it's actually doing. I would be looking for this to pull back minimum to find a reaction on this level. That's 236. So it looks like it's trying to do that right now. I would not really mess with this. I need more information. I don't like how this is reacted as far as the candle itself is concerned, as far as all these spikes. Almost every time it spiked up, you've lost, you never got back to that high again, right? So that to me tells me I need to be extra cautious with this. We break historical highs, previous highs. That'll be one of the first times we've actually done that. Now we did it here and proceeded to dump. So that's why I would be extra careful about something like this. I would like to see it come up, either retest as horizontal or like a true champ, come back down to range and retest this level here, this guy. So if we get that tested and we find support, then I would be looking at something a little bit more promising. This ends up being top of range, but it's also right in between the 5 and the 382, closer to the 5, which would be a healthier pullback than just a 236. 236 would not give me any confidence in this whatsoever. So I would be looking at this to have some type of reaction, swing down, make itself known that it wants to come back up. And if it does, then fine. I can play the next pullback. We'd be looking at levels up in this range over here. Target levels for the full one off of this move would be about 1704. Of course, we would be aiming for this 2086 historical support resistance levels that we threw in there earlier. So that's what we got for Nexus. Not as exciting as you would think. Saint, what's up, brother? Hope you're having a great weekend. Thank you. Hope you guys are too. Ricky Thompson, what's going on? Looks like a regular don't sleep. I don't sleep much. It's not human. Let's see. Bought Win yesterday. One of my moon coins. Fantastic. Joe S. Pump and dump. Yeah, that's what Nexus sort of looks like that, Joe. Not enough history on it to make that call, but it doesn't have great history. Ricky, it's 4:41 p.m. Sunday here. That's right. Yeah, snow's in another world. Largest 3-day volume since ever on When. Raven was nice too. Oh, it's dinner time. Not quite. Let's take a look at Raven. Raven's been doing some things. All right, so Raven. Did it? No, not yet. Okay, so trying to see if Raven was able to encapsulate this, but it did get stopped out at an interesting area. Wow, right? I could do that all night long. So look how perfect historical support resistance plays out, right? Perfect. This is the history of the coin here, at least on Bitcoin pairing on Binance, right? So this is it's monumental stuff to be able to take a level from October 22nd, 2018 and get stopped out, well, just 909 5 sats away on this huge daily burst, right? That's monstrous. So anyway, that is why we like those levels. So what are we looking at here? This is just kind of looks like a big mess. Let's see what we were actually looking. Oh, okay. So sometimes you got to zoom all the way in to the 1 hour cup and handle. All right, not a problem. So here we go. This was what we were looking at. A little cup and handle over here, smashed down. Did we get the pullback? We just barely got a shallow 382. Nothing super exciting. I think clearly we got our 12%. Let's go ahead and get rid of all of this. It's old news now, don't need it. All right, so let's get off of... let's do that. Okay, we want to get off of the 1 hour. We want to take a closer look at what's shaking long-term, bigger time frame here. All right, 4 hours got us up. We can get rid of this altogether. So we smashed through our horizontals. Historical levels have been broken. That's good. Obviously, we broke way out of this broadening wedge. Why don't we just get rid of this all day, right? We don't need any of that stuff on this chart anymore. Now what we want to take a look at, we want to look at these two pullbacks here. We want to measure them, get targets for continuation if need be. Our size curled back up on the 4 hour. Let's hit the daily right now. So if you look at the chart, right, just like this, what do you see? From the low down here to the high up here, we've had two very obvious pullbacks, right? From our low, up, pullback, right? From our low all the way up, pullback. So, on the way down, what do you see? Big move down, retrace. Big move down, retrace. Accumulation. This entire zone, accumulation. So it's almost an inverse of what happened when we first launched the coin, right? This is all good here, right? Volume up, price up is good. As volume comes down, price comes down, That's we just talked about that, but that's a bullish scenario. All right, so we're always concerned about trend and continuation, right? This does not look like it's invalidated by any stretch of the imagination, so we're just going to chart it exactly the way it is. We're going to find our low down here, and we're going to pull up to this level, right? That top level. And I want to measure the retrace. And I want you to notice where this pullback came down to, right? Previous structure highs. Talk about that every time we stream. We talk about that. So anyway, here's the big push. Here's the big push on the daily chart. Pulled back down, not that impressive, right? A 382 pullback is not, not crazy. But it's there. It hit, and that was the springboard for the next move up. Now, before I just measure from this low to this high, I want to get the bigger picture. I'm going to go from the whole bottom. Let me get this right. From the whole bottom to the whole top. So from the low, right, to our current peak. We are creeping down towards a 382 on the bigger picture. 382, which was this retrace. Now let's take this as our new setup, right? This was our low. This is now our high. And what are we at? Just about the 618. So just about the 618. So I'm going to look at this in two different ways. Let's say for example, right, I might want to play the 618. All right, let's also say, let's pull this back down, and let's just say that what we have here is a possibility of getting down to the 382. So what am I looking at? I'm looking at confluence, right? Here's the 382. So here's what we got. We got a bit of an overlap, right? So buy target 618, buy target 382, looking for continuation of trend. That's what we're looking for here. Now this might have looked good on the hourly, not so much on the daily. So why don't we kind of fix that up a little bit here and do something that makes a little bit more sense. Now if we use our current candle, yeah, we got a good bounce. 1, 2, 3 touches. That's good. That's fine. And then we could probably connect these, and we'd make another broadening wedge to the upside. We're not going to do that right now. Let me zoom in 4 hour. Let's take a closer look at what we have as far as patterns. Let's see down. Nothing crazy. Like an 8, you got an A, B, C, D if you wanted to paint that. I don't know that it would totally be worth your time, but it would be A, B, well, really C. C would be here, and D. So we would have like a 2.2 and a 0.4, so not quite a perfect A, B, C, D, but still, nonetheless, it's not bad to look at. Doesn't really need to be there, so we're not overly concerned with it. We could, I guess, throw this over here for now if we want to just destroy our chart. Okay. This will give you the idea of what kind of channel you could be trading in projection-wise, right? Now, when we look at the larger picture, right, we have to get some targets for the future, right? So we know that we came back down here, right? We made this big move, and then we went into range, right? We want to take a look at this right here, that retrace. So if we come to the top chart down, right, we just getting this move, we can see right here 236. So based off of this move, and we can measure this one as well, right? So this one was, let's see over here, 382 body, almost hit the 5. So this is a good indication that these shallow retraces are legit. Not legit, but I don't know what the word is. They have confluence, right? If your big major retrace on the downside was only really a 382, just about a 5, that's shallow. right? And same with the larger move. The larger move only played out to a 236. That's shallow. So this isn't the type of coin that needs a 618 or a 786 or an 886. So when you get a 382 over here, that's where you're setting buy targets. So you'd be doing a buy target from a 382 to a 5, with a, with like a moon bag finger cross type target over at a 618 if it even retraced that far down. All right. So now with this, we could take this initial move right here, this first one, and that's where we're going to set targets the opposite direction, right? So we're going to do something similar to this, right? And then we'll swing this guy around here, right? And then let me swap this over to this targets. All right, so now this is what we're looking at. Let me swing this back over. So now we got something to look at. Here's what we're looking at as far as targets to continue on. 1618 was clearly already hit, right? So our next target is this 2618, then 3618, 423. When you get into price discovery, you have to start projecting targets, right? You can't go by previous structure, or you can't go by previous horizontal support resistance. They don't exist. So you just have to go with, projections. And a projection would be a 16263642. These are all projected to happen if trend continues. So this at least gives us an area of bounce in which we might have already gotten the bounce. I mean, let's be real. It may not have any further downside. We might have already kicked up, which means we didn't hit the 382 or the 618, depending on which way you threw your fibs. So for this to continue up, your first area of resistance is going to be the only historical resistance ones that count, and that's the top of the body over here. If you want a second one, just because, then do all-time high on the wick, and look where that lands. Basically the 2618. Right, so if you were going to trade the 2618 and you're going to front run it, you're on the front run. 1056 would be the 2618. 1045 is historical on the wick. So this tells me all day long this is what my target is. Right, we smash that, we might blast right through it, come back down and retest 2618, or just like we did over here, push up a little bit, but end up at the end of the day, it's all rejection, right? You got rejected on historical support resistance, came back down. You found support right here. Where's that? 1618. Okay? You found support at the 1618. You drop down the next day, full day down. Where'd you find support? Right back down on the 1, and then continue on from there. All right? So that's what I'm looking at for Raven. Raven looks very interesting. For giggles, why don't we scope the 1 hour and just see what kind of reaction we're having? Because we may not get down here, or down here, I should say. This would be our level right here. So 720, and so far we've traded as low as 730. So 10 sats away. So does that make me feel like we're in a good spot? This right here is nice. This is structure highs on a 1 hour chart, and that would be a great level for a buy. So we may not come down any lower. If we do, we could probably go as low as 702, retest this structure down here. But let's see, we came up, dropped down, consolidation, down again. This was just about a double bottom, barely any reaction, little push up. Failed on the 1.6, dropped back down, support on our 1 line, came up, down, so a lower low, and then a higher high. So another broadening pattern over here, and then strong buying coming in just on the other side of this trend, right, that new trend that we just put there. So it's possible this is as low as we're going to get in that zone. It's also possible that it just completely dumps. I don't see that happening, but anything could happen, right? Said the Said the guy who TA'd this candle right here, and then this is what happened after that. So, you know, I don't want to be that guy. All right, so let me check the let me check the comments over here. No sleeping crypto. Money never sleeps. Thady did that for me today. Sold my bag. So happy. So I have more sats to trade. But that's awesome. Learn the hard way. Just going to trade them like what? Like another asset. Yeah. Crypto still in its early stages. Buy and hold. BTC is the exception. It's all business. Show me to remove emotion. I still have faves, but I trade them now and I hold them. Cannot quick. What is this? Did you take a quick look at WAN and XLM? Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's take WAN real quick. Yeah, it can't be overstated. Where is my WAN chart? This just happened the other night too, right? I have a WAN chart. I do. I'm going to... Oh, there it is. Why is it WAN ETH? Huh. Interesting. All right, well, whatever. We'll just make a new chart. Yeah, it can't really be understated that removing emotion in this type of trading is kind of necessary. There's too many projects that may never come back or never needed to exist in the first place. And if you get wrapped up holding something like that, it could very easily never, ever come back. And if that's the case, you'll just simply never get your money back. And that's sad, but you know, we are in the very beginning stages of, you know, the cryptocurrency market as a whole. So you have to consider what you're trading now. You may not trade again in 2 years or 3 years or 4 years. It might not even exist. So take what you can now while you can, if that makes any sense. In other words, if you could trade now and get some wealth out of it, or get something that you can use later, convert it to fiat, whatever the case may be, then do it. There are certainly some bags you might want to hold because you see promise in the project for a future long-term investment, and that's fine. But you do that with a portion of your capital that you understand is your, you know, whatever you want to call it, your moon capital. You know, I don't care what you call it, but understanding that capital is in 100% risk mode, right? That capital is, you know, you very well may never see it again, and that's fine as long as it's, you know, 2 or 3% of your trading capital. Then it's okay. I have no problem with that, but I'm not a proponent of holding something while it's dying in front of me like this. Just dying, and just continuing to hold it. That doesn't make any sense to me. As a trader, we look for setups and we trade the trade. You understand what I'm saying? So you look for the setup, you make the trade. If the trade is a good trade and it goes your way, that's great. You profit from it, you pull your profits, and you're done. If it's a bad trade and it goes against you, then no problem. Your stop gets hit and you move on your way until you find your next trade. It's no big deal. All right, so anyway, after my spiel of talking about nothing for a few minutes while I set this thing up, here's what we're looking at. Double ranged area. We have an upper range and a lower range. This has clearly broke both of them, but failed on the upper range, which is also historical support resistance. So not too much to look at there just yet, but it certainly does have the ability to do something. WAN has been trying to do something for quite some time, just hasn't really been able to get too much accomplished here. This structure over here, this big massive leg up, is actually kind of promising. So this type of move, right, this all-time high with the big arch drop down with the big pullback, like the nice retrace, and then this sort of like layered up move, and then this dump is actually nice, right? Because this is going to be good to come back up to. You got a few levels that we can all play off of over here. I marked down this pink one here. This is the 236 from the overall all-time high to current bottom or current all-time low. This would be an expectation to get if we run this chart something like BNB or Engine or KNC. KNC did great. So if we run it similar to that, then those are the targets we're looking at. You know, obviously we're going to have some resistance areas to deal with over here, but there's nothing for me to do with this right now. You know me, I need this. I need that. I need to break up, out, close above, come back down, retest, play to range. Buy the pullback, play to range. Or buy the pullback, play to pullback, right? This is the range. So I want to get out of range. I want to get out of here. The double range is even more, not concerning, but it's even more aggravating because you could get through this range or through this range just to trade in this range for another, whatever, 60 days. And we don't want to do that. Right now, we've been accumulating for 111 days, right? It is time for WAN to do something. And it's funny because I met these guys. I met them out here in Austin. They're based out of Austin. So these guys are always around. And you know, I try not to talk about fundamentals too much, but it's a great project. I know they have good news coming soon. I think they just released some. That's probably what sparked this right here. But yeah, it's you know, you can't. The chart don't lie, right? The chart don't lie. If we look at just this move, we could do that. If you are the if you don't care about the range, right? Then here's what I got for you. If you're playing this lowest low in the current move, otherwise we're going all the way back here, right? Lowest low in the current move on a typical 382 to 618 zone. You're already in 382 buy entry, so you know that would be yours to deal with. But this would be your zone on a typical pullback, something like this. Come on, magnet, get off me. Let's do this and let's do that. Okay, so if you were just playing that this upper range didn't exist and that you broke the lower range, which also means you broke this trend line, which is a big deal, and you're not waiting for a full pullback all the way down here, so you're jumping the gun in a few ways, then you would be looking at buy targets that are currently being hit, right? So 988 to 903 would be the window of opportunity, expecting that when it does hit, the next move is up, right? Now, there's obviously no guarantee that that will happen, but that's why the trades I tend to make are after this initial move, right? And then we've established a trend, right? I don't really find the bottom, and I don't really find the top, and I have absolutely no problem with that. I trade. Okay, so let me put it to you this way. Here's the top, right? Here's the move before the top. This guy right here. I'm going to show you this. This guy. Here's the current local bottom, right? Here is the move, or the big move, I should say, before the local bottom. All right? I'll play all of this. 663% potential gains. All right? I'm not worried about this. I'm not worried about this. And this way you don't get stuck. If we do this, right? If this is what happens, if we can't get out of range, and what happens is we attempt to break range, we fail, we come down, I buy, and what happens is we just float back down here, and it's just a repeat of all the other times that we broke and failed. Down, further downside, oh, up, another chance, nope, another failure, down, nope, failure, lower lows, back up again, accumulation, failed a new trend, failed that, made another new low, lower low, lower low, lower low, lower low, and then a four-time banger on the lowest low down here. Before finally making this move up here just to break even. No thanks, not me. I'll wait. All right, I got enough patience. There's enough trades out there where you don't need to play this. If you do want to, by all means, that's on you. Again, never financial advice, but it is risky. It's much riskier this play because you haven't established a trend yet, let alone you haven't closed above, previous structure highs just out of range. So that's what I got for when. And what'd you say? I gotta scroll. Hold on. I love it. You guys are talking. Very nice. What was the other one here? I think XLM, right? XLM. There we go. Yeah, Saint. Yeah, you got it. Just trade for BTC and fiat. Yeah, that'll work. Let's see. XLM. Yeah, so you could trade. What the hell do we call it? Stacking sets. XLM, BTC. All right. Oh, you guys, close your eyes for a second. This is a mess here. It's probably a good chart once. All right, hold on. I got to figure out what's going on. This is things have happened. Things have happened. All right, let me get out of here. Let me get out of here. Get out of here. Out of here. Out of here. What else we got here? All of these can go. Okay. I'm doing something with the time. I don't know. Don't mind me. I have to go back and check all those, so I don't want to get rid of them just yet. But they're obviously there for a reason. Not sure what. All right, so XLM on the daily. Ginormous symmetrical triangle broke to the south side. Ever since then, it's been down, down, down. We do have horizontal support resistance levels that we are trying to retest. Not quite there yet. This was breakout play, breakout play. We don't need any of that. Let's see. Long-term trend is not going to show much. Let's see what it does here. Yeah. Oh, man. Dude. People say TA don't work. That kills me. Check this out. All right, so long-term trend. Long-term from the first big high after the actual retrace from all-time high. So January 27, 2018 is responsible for today's current resistance. It's nuts. All right, anyway. On the smaller scale, what do we got here? Came down this little channel here. We broke through sideways, so not an impressive break, but we can get rid of all of this. All right. What else we got here? Okay, so this was the end. Yeah, that was the end of the symmetrical triangle. Broke through on the south side. Ended up pushing this top over here around 46.36. It's been down ever since. So you had a big move down, you had a retrace, you had another big move, retrace, another big move, sideways accumulation. So this is something you want to mark as you come back up, right? This will end up being a zone or an area of resistance that we could struggle with and end up, if you don't blast right through and retest it, you're going to end up like re-accumulating in this area because you probably have a lot of orders still on the table. So we're going to leave that there for now. Came down, made another big move. This time, not much hesitation all the way down until we got down to here. We had minor accumulation. Nothing too crazy, but let's say we did something like this. Ballpark, right? Yes. Okay. So, now that we have that, we're looking at a breakout play. Now, this is all within context of what we're dealing with here. We are already dealing with an area in between the two aqua lines that we need to get. Horizontal support resistance coming right up. Long-term trend that's right in our way. So all of this has to be factored in. So where the last chart we just looked at, your historical support resistance and your areas of opportunities had room after range. This one does not have much room. You don't want a long resistance. You don't want to long into resistance. In other words, you don't want to buy this breakout just to get stopped out right here. That doesn't make any sense. So you need to play this one a little bit more cautiously. You'd need first step, right? Let me get my little thing here. You want to be able to break this long-term resistance. Break it, and I mean, because of this huge test, you don't necessarily need to retest it, but you really should. So you should break it, retest it. You got to come up to this aqua line. And this aqua line, this was an area of accumulation before. Last time you were in it, all you did was dump straight through it, which means you can do the opposite. You can just buy straight through it, which is okay too. But expect some level of reaction, right? Some type of resistance. If not here, then here, vice versa, one or the other, or both. All right, next, let's see. Once you do that, you got to break into this level, which is another ranged area. So this whole little zone over here, right, you might have to deal with again into this ballpark. And then you can finally start actually trading the coin off respected levels. So then you're going to start charting like this, you know, areas that have been retested a few times, like this whole zone, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That whole zone will be checked out. So there's a lot that can still happen with this, for sure. Haven't quite gotten to that level yet. Let me take a look at this right here. Oh, that's cool. All right, so just another trend line coming from that dip, right? So you had a nice dip over here, but it was a higher low. All right, swung up for another higher low. So you started the trend, right? And then you had a higher high, higher than this guy, and then you lost it. And this is also a bit of a head and shoulders over here. So you had a left shoulder, head, right shoulder, neckline, snapped it, and just dumped. All right, so that's what I see for XLM. You know, unfortunately, you don't want a long, you know, resistance. It's just not a good idea. What kind of like moves could you actually get out of this thing if you do come back for a retest? All right, that's cool. 7%. It's possible you could push down a little bit further back to range up in this ballpark over here. So somewhere in the 23.34 zone, this could sell off. Come back, shoot above. Maybe your next target would be 25.99. Maybe that's where you sell. Let it sell all the way down to here for a retest, and then you got to play the parallel channels. over here. All right. So nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. All right, you're going to do that. Okay. All right. So we caught up on chat. Very good. Let's see what else moved today in the market. Let's see. So Theta's continuing to do things. Let's see. 46% up. Currently down 20 from that 46 in a 24-hour period. KNC, another 45 up. Currently down to the 44 on that. That's good. All right, so Knowles. Knowles, we have 44 up. Currently sitting on the 50. We got a strong uptrend on the 4. Sideways, slightly bearish or bullish on everything else. Light green dominating the 5 to 12 zone, while the 5-minute pulling back and the daily hasn't quite converted to sideways, slightly bullish yet. So I'm going to take a look at Knowles and see what we got going on here. All right, Knowles, BTC, and give me 1 second. That was your time to talk amongst yourselves. Did you guys use it? No? That's fine. I'll talk. All right, so what do we have? We got like an elf. We got an elf shoe over here. That's all we got. Weekly chart on Knowles is an elf shoe. All right, so let's see. Let's get our horizontals out here. Let's see if we have any levels that seem to make any sense. All right, so yeah, that'll work. Not much. Well, yeah, I guess. All right. Okay. That's good enough. Something to look at, right? All right. Weekly chart. Got levels. Daily chart. Overall picture here is a falling wedge. We could paint that on here if need be. Just do something like this. Nope. That's better. That's better. Okay. That is pretty good. And let's connect the bottoms over here and let's get something going. Okay. Falling wedge, nothing too crazy. It's not, I don't like it. It's not good. It's more like this. So when you do trends, you have to be pretty subjective, unfortunately. There are hardline rules, but they don't work for everybody. I used to be very, very rule based with trends, and then realized I was missing some trends because the obvious trends broke rules, like slicing into candles. and it turned out that the ones that broke the rules were respected more often than the ones that played by the rules. So I had to say, all right, well, sometimes you just got to say these rules don't do anything for me. So now my trends, I'm a little bit more loose. They do still have to have some kind of criteria, but I look for obvious trends that make sense and seem to be respected. And then if they are, then they tend to continue to be respected throughout the course of that trend. In any event, neither one of these did anything for us because we were just in this sideways range for so long that it just walked away from us. So our range, something like that. And we're doing what I love to see being done, which is this move right here, which is almost perfect. Okay, so we could see where this one failed, right? We broke up out, we closed, Came back down the next day and we failed, right? We failed to maintain support on the upper range. This one is currently doing the sell-off. So it's currently selling off. We would like to get it to find support on the range and then have further buying. We do have at least a higher high this time, so that's good as opposed to, well, this we had a higher high and failed. This was a lower high, so that doesn't count. This was a lower high, so that doesn't count. All right, well, anyway, here's what we got. So let's take a look at two things here. Let's take a look at the overall from low of that move, or at least of the area. We're currently down to the 50. We take the low of the whole thing, just about down to 50, not much change there. We're going to take the low for the actual move itself, just the move, which is this guy. And where are we at here? Past the 50. Past the 50. Well, if we use that, we might do this. Okay. That's better. Past the 50, closer to 618. So, here's what I would do. Again, just like the last one, right? I don't need to play this. I don't know that anybody needs to play this. But I would let this find support. First off. Find support and give me a move back up. Give me a move that tells me that we are starting to check these ranges out over here. You know, we're going to start playing this range. You can see where it topped out, right? Right here. See that top out move? So do this. Look left. Does it make sense? Yeah. Totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. Right? Oh, okay. Hold on. One more second. Talk amongst yourselves. Jared, kill him. I know. All right. Hold on. All right. Listen, when the puppy wants to go out, the puppy wants to go out, right? She rules the roost. That's how that works. Okay, so anyway, we were talking about the high where it topped out, so I try to say it as often as possible. Mark it, right? Look left, see if it actually makes sense. It certainly does. Certainly an area that was tested a few times as support. It's been flipped. Now it's resistance. So this is what we're dealing with. Again, I'm not going to trade this. I will wait to find support and make sure it's not this move all over again. This is what you don't want. You don't want to buy this and have it do this. Okay? I would much rather buy this after we found support. You know what I mean? Except I want to buy that because that would break this. All right. So previous structure highs is now this. I would want to break it after finding support. Find support, break the level, come back down, buy the pullback, and then further moves up. Okay? The aggressive play is to not wait for that to happen, in which case you'd be looking at now, well, typically a 382 to a 618, but now you're 618. Maybe down to a 7.8, 7.9, 7.86. Or, you know, you take the 6.18 to the 5 and just buy. Right? But if you're going to do that, you know, swing on to like a 15-minute chart or something and at least get a good entry. Right? You got a lower low, a lower low, a lower low, and a lower low. Lower high, lower high, lower high. So there's no reason to buy this on a 15-minute chart, not yet. This gives you a much closer view at what's happening locally. Volume is going down. Price is going down. We just talked about that a few times. All right. So exhaustion and trend. Same here. Price is up. Volume down. Exhaustion and trend. What happened? You got a reversal. All right. Price is going down. Volume's going down. Eventually, you'll more than likely get a reversal. Exhaustion and trend. So, if you're going to do that, at least find a good target. All right? But, you know, we all know that I don't recommend that. All right, but it goes on the watch list. All right, it gets added to the watch list. Let's see. Yeah, I was just talking to myself. Does that count, Mark? Hell yeah, that counts. Hell yeah, that counts. Problem at his, and if you're new, it lags once in a while. Oh, yeah, that's me. He was just thinking that. EMC2, if you have time. Snow, where are you getting the recommendations to buy these coins? EMC2? Einstein. Really? Einstein. Hold on. What? EMC2. You're killing me. Yeah, I'm looking it up. You're going to make me look it up. I'm looking it up. EMC2, of course, because I can't spell properly. Where is it? Where did you find this? EMC2. It's not even on here. Snow, I need some answers. Let's get some answers, Snow. Not on Binance. Didn't I just pull it up on Binance? Hold on. What is this? Oh, that's Trex. All right. Okay. All right. Trex, huh? Fair enough. Let me take a look at this thing. First off, I never heard of Einstein. And I'm never afraid to admit that I haven't heard of a coin that has a chart that looks like this. What is this? What is that? What is that move? Why is there a 6,885% move on this chart? And why did it happen twice? Killing me. All right, let's take a look. We're not gonna hold anyone in contempt because they find promise in Einstein. All right, so let's get something on here that we could do something with. Okay. Let's see. Horizontal support resistance. Well, guess this zone makes sense. It's the high before reversing down, came back, retested, dropped down for a higher low to create a trend, came back, rejected again, back down, double top. Or double bottom. Never seen a double bottom produce, let's see, a 2,900% return. But that is awesome for anybody who is involved in that. Good for you. That is pretty freaking sweet. Came up, man, high, dropped down. We had a little bit of a kickback over here for a retrace, came down for the slow bleed, and now we are accumulating. So let's pick up the daily chart here. All right, daily chart, bottoming pattern for our lows. We had a nice M over here. This was our M. That's a good play. That play is over. We've started accumulation in this zone. Of course, we've already broke that, no problem. So let's see. For our accumulation period, we were right about here, and we can incorporate. This is 2 levels again of accumulation. We're gonna let that guy drip down. So I'm not worried about that. All right, so now we also have to look at this previous structures and deal with that when we get around to it. Now let's take a look at what we are actually doing here. So we have broken out of range. It's perfect. Came back for a retest. That's nice. Huge move up. What do we actually have here? 38% in a day. Down for another pullback. Up for another move up. getting close to horizontal support resistance. So this is good. Let's see, we came back down and retested previous structure highs, so that's great. All right, so a couple things. Let's take a look. From the bottom to the first move, it's this guy right here, this candle, which is what? 1580. So let's get 1580. 1581 will be good enough for now for what we're looking at. We want to see where this pull down went to. Just about the 5. All right, that's okay. So now we're going to take our next move up. This guy right here. And this guy right here. All right, this one, 618, retrace. Down at the bottom. And currently, our current high. I got to fix that. Don't worry, I'm going back. I got to fix it. I know. What do we have? 2670. 2670. We're good. All right, so expect a retrace to the deepest so far, 618. 5 has happened a few times. So 382 to 615, ballpark buy zone for continuation. Okay. You'd be looking to buy this and then push up further for continuation. Unfortunately, you are looking at this level of horizontal support resistance. So let's go back over here and let's see where that made the most sense. Why we put that on there. And it was this top-down zone right here. Okay? So we could probably lift that up. Yeah, we lift it up a little bit. You just want to make sure it makes sense. And again, like, you're not going sat for sat on these. It's a little bit of a range. So I guess we're kind of within that range right now. But just expect some type of reaction. Just like you got a reaction here, expect a reaction over there. All right. Let's take a look at RSI. Okay. That's really good, actually. And we came up. Crossed over, breach, came back down, came back up for a higher high. That's good. Still have plenty of room here. Only sitting on 78. Overall, good, healthy move up. All right, this whole thing is solid. Yeah. All right, Snow, you got me. It actually looks pretty good. I don't know what it is. Not sure that I should be concerned about your health, but chart's a chart, right? That's what we're looking at. We're looking at charts, not bias. In fact, I think we already had the conversation about how I feel about FA and the present state of things. So it's good. It looks good. We got some areas to deal with here, but overall it's really not bad. If we did have a nice cup and handle here, that would have been a lot better. But whatever, that's just because I like patterns. So yeah, I don't like the chart. I don't like this. I don't like any of that, and I don't like that. And I don't know where the other wick went, but I didn't like that wick either. So there's all of that to deal with. But this is, as far as charts and setups are concerned, yeah, this is good. It's a nice break. Retesting structure highs. I mean, this is what I talk about. This is where you get in. You get in on that pullback. Could have bought that pullback because we already broke range, retested it, came back down. But this is exactly what I was talking about for the other coin. I will wait for this to happen. I'll let the next move break previous structure highs or horizontal support resistance, and then I will buy that pullback. So we would have bought, had we looked at this, we would have bought this right here, and we would have had that move up top. Probably would have front run here, so we'd probably still be in it. But once it started selling, too much, we would have been out. and then you just buy back on the next one, and you rinse and you repeat. All right, so not bad, Snow. EMC 20, EMC 2. Ay. It's not on Binance. Just made some good moves. Thank you. I made 20%. That's awesome. Where do you find this coin? I know, right? Oh man, trade is a trade. Yeah, exactly. Trade is a trade. You are 100% correct. XLM BTC, it's at its resistance, about to break. Can you throw some light on what? IY? Well, I think we just looked at XLM. Am I crazy? I could have sworn we just looked at it like a second ago. XLM BTC. Yeah, for sure. All right, so yeah, no worries. We did just talk about this, so I'll keep it super extra quick and brief. What I'm looking for currently is we have to break out of this range, come out, retest it. You do have multiple levels over here of long-term trend that you are going to have to get over and more than likely retest as well. But you are jumping right into horizontal support resistance. So you don't want a long into resistance. If you do, I think it was a 6.9 or whatever, 6 or 7% move up from trend up. And then this area here, this whole zone, right, can be one of two things. It's either going to be previous accumulation area over here where you get stuck into another range, or like we already did last time, just sell right through it. We'll do the opposite and just buy right through it. Then you get into this next zone here, and that's where you have more previous accumulation, more previous accumulation, more previous accumulation, and more previous accumulation. So you would imagine that when we get into this zone over here, if you don't blast through it and come back down and retest it for further highs, we're just going to get stuck in another range. That depends on trend, momentum, and strength of move. If we're able to avoid this area altogether, we have to blast through it, come back down, retest like previous structure highs, and then move onward to bigger and better things, which would get us into these levels and these levels. All right? That's my quick recap roundup. Show some light on it. Yes. Okay, we got you. Got you. Yes, we just did it. Okay. We're all good. I was just gonna look at something, man. Oh, geez, I already forgot. It's not good. Poor memory. Well, wasn't this? Was it on here? Land, link, loom. We're selling. We're selling. Hold on. Time out. Time out. Concerning. All right, here we go. What do we got? Currently down $39. Do this. Just want to see what's shaking because, you know, I'm watching multiple charts here, multiple screens, and there's a lot of things happening. So I get to see all of this stuff happen while it happens, just on a different screen. All right, so big sell-off came in on the Bitcoin chart. So pushing down through this target zone for the Gartley, for one of the buy zones. But we were able to not only withstand it, push back a little bit. So we are trying on the 15. We're starting to lose that momentum, right? The momentum that was starting to pick up, it's all starting to die a little bit. And this affects our altcoin charts, especially on the BTC pairings. Okay, so you know, for this big move we had coming up and the little dump, but the recovery, you know, now we have this other continuation in trend. So continuation doing this ish, and it has now been violated. such as this. And without a quick recovery, you could be looking at something similar to this. So you had the big dump down, which was actually a retest of our larger, much larger symmetrical triangle over here, right here. So that little dump down was just a retest of it, which was good. It was also similar to our retest that we had down here. And then it was the bottoming area before the launch pad in this ballpark right here. So needless to say, if you're trading BTC pairs, you need to be aware of what BTC is doing, as this could affect your current trades. All right, good. Glad everybody is on the same page with that. Shankar, I hope I said that correctly. Yes, you're very welcome, XLM. No worries. Doesn't matter what time you come through. We'll always still take a look. All right, so let's see. I want to get back to the 24. Well, you know what? We got weekly. We got a weekly candle close coming up. Not in the next few hours, but it is happening soon. So let's pull up a 7-day. Let's pull up a 7-day. Let's see what's shaking for the week. And then that'll probably be it for me. All right, so what do we got here? Engine cruised this week, 221% up. Currently only lost 20% of that 220. So that is strong. 5 minute is showing selling in a strong downtrend. What that means is pullback. Currently only down to the 20, not even the 382, but I suppose it's always worth taking a look. So, Engine BTC. Okay. Smashed it. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. All right, so targets were set for a 16263642. Just missed the 42. Perfectly hit the 36. Dropped down to the 26. Came back up for the 36. So multiple chances to get the 36 filled. 42, not so much. Very close. Didn't quite make it. Don't think it's over just yet. Let's see. All right, what do we have here? A, B, C. I guess A, B, C, D. Yeah. So you got your A, B, your C, D. That's a real good move. That's nice. Look at that range. Look at this. Look at breaking out of that range and doing this, right? Ridiculous all-time highs. Everything's cool. Everything's totally good. So let's zoom in a little bit and see if we can't figure something out here. First off, we really got to get rid of some of this stuff here. It's out of control. All right, so that's gone. This can get changed to our targets. All right, let's make sure we got the right target on here. First off, of course, I took this off. All right, so we want 29.43. Let's just throw this over here. 29.40 is close, not quite. 29.43. Come on. Oh, you can totally do it. Oh, you kill me. 29.43. All right. So this will give us our targets up top, which is what we were looking at before. Or no, of course, it's backwards. You gotta be kidding me. Ay, ay, ay. It's amazing. All right, here we go. Amazing. All right. Let's see. Let's get down to our bottom zone here, and let's take a closer look. That's our level down here. Low was 1855. 1855. We're good. At least we have that. We don't need this anymore. Obviously, we know we broke it. We don't need our buy-in because that's fine. And let's bring it down. So targets were just about hit. That's good. It's very good. But we need to know what we're looking at for pullbacks here. So now that you already have targets and you've already exercised them, then you can get an idea of where you might find support, which is going to be previous support, resistance levels right here. All right. I mean, this is already, it's already a nice pullback. That's kind of part of a problem here, but let's do this. Let's take from just the bottom of this move, which is, this is our low, and let's take this guy right here up to the top. And let's see what we got here. 382 coincides with the 2618 for a nice pullback. The 618 coincides with the 1618 for an even better pullback. Problem is, this thing doesn't really pull back all that much, does it? Say from the bottom of this move to right here, where did we touch down? Right? The 5. I know it's like super hard to see, but don't worry. Trust my eyes. All right, so about to the 5. Let's say we did this move right here to this move. Where are we at here? 382. So the 382 and the 5, right? Both kind of shallow. 382 is right here. Coincides with the 2618, which we already hit yesterday in that candle. So now what do you do? Well, now you got to take a look at it. You got to zoom in a little bit. All right, so here we are. Big push up, pull back. Okay? Big push up, pull back. Big push up, big pull back. Push up, down. So now you're looking at this big candle down, breaking previous structure highs, coming back up to test previous structure highs, finding resistance. So that's not great, actually. This, right? You don't want to fail on this, which is what you're currently doing, right? You're currently failing on that previous structure high. So you do need to get up over that. Now, is engine exhausted? I kind of doubt it. It may need to cool off a bit, which is totally fine. But as far as being done, I don't know. I don't think so. Let's look at one more thing. Let's look at overall bottom of at least current move, which is this, to the overall. This guy right here. Okay. If we were to come down to the 382 on the big move, coincide with the 5 and previous structure. But man, that's 618. Look, like the 5, the 618, and the 1618 are all like the same freaking level. Now, look, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I'm saying it's a little bit undeniable. I'm gonna leave that here. I'm gonna leave that there, and we'll see. You know, we'll see. But overall, bigger picture is still pretty healthy. All right. I would imagine a few things here. This little pullback is either gonna do one, and I hate to do this, but it's either gonna do one of two things, depending on momentum and strength. It's showing us right now that it's struggling to make that next push up, at least on the 4-hour chart, where this move up here, it was strong with only a 2-day pullback. This move was a little bit uglier, right? But you came back down and you tested structure high. You didn't break them. So that was okay. You had another big push up, big push. This was a reasonable pullback. 1, 2, 3 days and a push. Again, a nice push up. 1, 2, 3 day pullback and a push. That's good. But this candle is concerning. This candle broke previous structure. It didn't test it, it broke it. And closed below it. All right. Next candle up was a failure candle. You tried, but you failed. And then the next candle right now is currently a failure candle. So that part's got me a little bit concerned for as far as what this thing may want to do next. If it does want to cool off a lot, then I'm looking down at that green zone. I'm looking all the way down here. 36.72 ballpark from our 64.10 current high. Now just playing just the move. All right, you broke the 236, then you're coming here. Okay. All right, so if you're just playing the current move, 382, which is also the 2618, would be a respectable potential entry. Okay. If you're looking for a huge cool down, your buy target's all the way down here. At least for me it is. All right. So engine, that's engine BTC. Engine BTC. All right, let's see. Let's check a few things here. Yes, we just did it. Thank you. Get perfect. Crypto on acid. What's happening, brother? Can you please look at MDA? Thanks. Sure can. Let's see. Can you do charting on total market cap? I guess it's a long-term resistance. Long-term resistance for what? For engine? Mark, what's up? SC, BTC, huge candle, huge volume. All right, well, let's take a look at MDA. Let's take a look at SC. Let's see. MDA. Oh, loyalty points. Okay. All right, MDA. Let's pull up the weekly chart. See what we got. Yikes. All right, no problem here. Man, it could have almost been a giant cup and handle on the weekly, but it failed. All right, let's get some horizontals here. Let's see what we got going on. As far as levels everywhere. Okay. It's probably good enough for now. That's fine. Let's throw our daily up. All right. Daily is looking like big push down, retrace up, came down, consolidated, dropped below, horizontal, failed it, flipped it, came back up, flipped it again, pushed through it. Very similar move, strong move up, big push down, ended up coming back up, swing failure came in, dropped over, consolidated in range. So now we have this move here. Okay, so for like a mini range, I say mini even though it's really not that small, but a kind of mini range would be something similar to this. With these bigger moves, I didn't quite add those in because they don't necessarily need to be in it. This range would actually probably start more so at about here. Okay. All right. So a break of range and a failure on retest. A break of range again. Swing failure so far, which is this. Okay. So you can look at this a few different ways. Anything up over this line and over the aqua line would be bullish. Anything below that is back in range and bearish for bearish continuation. Overall, we are painting a symmetrical triangle, so we could paint that. It would look something like this. Let's see what we have as far as breakout plays. Okay, so on a breakout play of a symmetrical triangle, typically it's going to happen between 50 and 75%. This is invalidated because it's not a break. This was a sideways push. All right, unfortunately not a break. Now, yeah, even if I did, yeah, well, I was like, you shouldn't really be trying to make it work, but I did want to adjust that anyway. Okay, but still, nonetheless, this would need to break up or break down. It can't break sideways. So symmetrical triangle is invalidated. It doesn't mean that the trend is not valid. So if we keep our trend here and use that as a support line, that's okay. You get an idea of where support may be. If you do fail on the swing failure, this upper trend line could give you an indication of where things might head to further down the road after the failure. All right. SCBTC. Who said there was a big giant candle here? I'm looking. I'm finding names. Mark. What? Yeah, Shankar will take a look at total market cap in just a minute. Yes, answered no problem. Ha ha ha, wait. Wait! What is this? What? Well, look, it's your fault, but we're gonna, now we gotta take a look at this. Because this is actually, these are the coins we're looking for, right? This is kind of exactly what we're looking for. Of course, I got to come all the way over here just to get proper range, which is a little ridiculous. All right, so something like that. All right, let's see. Without doing any horizontals here, let's just take a look at this particular move here. And consolidation, lower low, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Higher low, not a lower low, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 test on the bottom. So my recommendation, if you feel like hearing it, is if you're going to trade a coin that is trading at like, you know, under 100 sats, check the volume on the Ethereum pair. I'll show you why. You have much more resolution per candle, right, per sat count than you do with BTC. So when you're trading at 1900, right, you have all those little levels in between to paint yourself respectable candles, and not like the candles that we just saw where there was a, you know, a 12 banger all hitting the same level because they're only moving between sat for sat on a Bitcoin pairing. All right. So I would trade something like this on the Ethereum pair, as long as it had, you know, proper liquidity. Then I would do that. All right. So total market cap. You're going to have to remind me. Is that on TradingView? I know that feeling. It happens to me all the time. Too early over here. Kids woke me up. It's all good. Shankar. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Is that on TradingView? I don't know if it is. total market cap. Okay. No. Even if we did like Brave New Coin, that's still just for Bitcoin. That's not. I think I know what you're asking, but I'm not sure that's on TradingView. I think coin signals, coin signals dot trade. I think that had total cap, right? Pretty sure. Holy brightness! Stop it! Oh my God! Make it end. Stop. Sorry. Sorry. I didn't mean to blind anybody. To over here. So yeah, Shankar, if you have something I could pull up, please do let me know. I don't want to open that up again because that's bad for everybody's eyes. It's just not good. And then I'll scope that out. So find me what you need me to plug in, and I will plug it in. Until then, let's go down the list a little bit here. So KNC ETH, KNC BTC cooled down a little on the daily, not able to convert that over. 5 minute is showing slightly bearish, still good on the 1, 4, and 6, posting 195% gains on the Ethereum pair, 147% gains on the Bitcoin pair, 23 and 20 opposite respected. So let's see. Let's pull up that KNC. Get the inner workings of my brain here. All right. So KNC. This was a trade that we talked about a few times. This was a trade that we took. We can get rid of all of this stuff here, but all of these targets were hit, which was awesome. So we were all very, very happy about that. Okay. So anyway. Pulling in for KNC, volume was good. Today's volume so far not great, above average, which is awesome. You would expect some type of retrace. Let me get rid of all this stuff here. Now it's just a mess. Okay, there we go. All right, so again, previous structure. Yes, we're well aware that these were the targets. Let's get rid of these. Over here, 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 and here. Okay, overall, bigger picture, right? Broke out of this channel. Big channel. We played the median line plenty of times, right? Top side. Now we finally broke through it. We retested it, but I believe it was only on the 1 hour chart that got retested, so nothing too crazy. We did have this nice breakout play here. Symmetrical triangle, push up, came down for a huge retest, and then a huge pop up. So for overall, coming from the bottom in this zone, all right, you'd be looking at this move here. Ballpark, right? Come down, let's say 382 would be previous structure. Horizontal support resistance. 5 is previous structure high. 618 at the current level, actually tomorrow's candle or the next day, would be an actual retest on the daily of the channel, which would also coincide with previous structure, which would be that would be good for me. I would like, crazy as it sounds, I would actually like that right there. Can it come down that far? Well, let's take a look at this. Down, up, down. Came down. We hit our buy target, which was, let's see, our original buy target for this trade was right here. On the top side was 42.37. On the bottom side was 41.75. So like a conservative and an aggressive. And that was playing the symmetrical triangle breakout retest. So that's all the way down to the 709. So sure. Yeah, why not? Why not? Now, if you just traded just that play, or if you just measured just that trade, you came all the way down to the 886 of just that move. The 886. All right, so if we're going to measure that, here's the move. All right, this is your low right here. Let's find the high. Let's say coming all the way down to the 886 right here. That's crazy. You're back in the channel. All right, back on previous horizontal support resistance. So, yeah. And now look, where it would have been the 618. So where it would have been the 618 in confluence of the parallel channel and previous structure, now it's perfectly the 709. Yeah, you know, I might like this. I'm going to leave this right here. I might like that. I might like a 709 retest of that channel. Yep, that's what I like. I'm leaving it. I'm leaving it. Let's see. Now I can't find that coin anymore. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, bright light. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was asked to do something. It was not good. I don't know how to use tools on this one, though. Crypto. Yeah. Mark, do you know? On TradingView? Can I get total market cap on TradingView? I don't think so. I don't think I can. CoinSignals.trade used to have it. Unfortunately, CoinSignals turned into CoinTrader Pro, which had nothing but bright lights. So we didn't want to mess with that. Yeah. All right. So if you know it, let me know. I tried like total. Total doesn't work. Market. No. Like Brave New Coin only gives us Bitcoin, so it's not like total market cap. Type total. I mean, total. Nothing. Tot. Nothing. Top chain. Rating. Simple token. Basic token. EOS token. 10x. I can go to all here. Total. Crypto total market cap. Nice. Mark, winning the game, buddy. You just won. I don't know what you won. You didn't win anything, really. But it feels good. You could tell your family and friends that you won something. All right, so total market cap currently. You want me to read this? How about this? It's up 3%. Is that what you're looking for? You're up 3% right here, which is it's just a lot of numbers that move around real fast. So you know, it's stuff. 3. You know, commas would help here. 3, 4. Is that what it says? 4 billion? No. What? 1, 2, 3, 1. I can't. I'm sorry. It's 3 o'clock in the morning for me, and it is moving way too quickly for me to do anything. With that, hold on. Maybe I do this one here. This one's not moving. That's much better. 124 billion. Okay, so looks like we are up 4 billion. How's that? Is that good? that what you wanted? Chingas, is that what you were looking for? Total 2 gives total minus BTC. Look at you guys with all your super tricks. Total 2. Look at all this. All right, so total minus Bitcoin is up 4%, 4.14% so far. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 56 billion. So 56 billion is where we opened, and we're currently at 58 billion. How's that? Huh? Yeah? All right. I think everybody's on the same page here. Let's see. There's not too much to look at here, but overall, I do like the increase in volume is good. A nice little bowl, little rounded bowl over here. Certainly above average, so that's great. Let's see. That was all-time high. What is this? April? Huh. Okay, interesting. April, that was our second peak. What was that? That was the... of course, we can't see it here. But this would have been... That was, what, 5,800? So this was... Man, I don't remember. This was 1711? It was 11.6 or something like that? Let's find out. Let's see. 11.6. So where's the 5.8? 5.8. It's April. Yes. So what do we have here? 10. 10.2. About 10,000. That was our February 6th candle. That's our 5.8. And then we came up to, yeah, 11.6. All right, cool. Just wanted to see that real quick. Let's see what happened to Mr. Bitcoin over here. Okay, so that's good. So for the 15-minute that we saw earlier, we looked at this bleeding out zone here. They come up, went sideways, dropped down even further, painted ourselves almost, well, just about a double bottom. Found support, came back up. So again, we will just wait and see how that all shakes out. When you wrap it up into an hourly candle, really doesn't look all that bad. Just 2 downward spikes to the downside. Both of them bought back up relatively quickly, and life continues on. Right? Right. All right. If you draw a trend line from top to now, is it at resistance? Are you're on total market cap? All right, so hold on. Total market cap. It's daily. If you draw a trend line from the top to right now, are we at resistance? Okay. Okay. Right now, oh, that's incorrect. So let's fix that before I give you any incorrect thought here. That's what we want. Back up over. Let me check the second anchor here. Okay. Good. 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 Currently, you are not at resistance. You have flipped from resistance to support with a double test. Unfortunately, this is not a coin. It's an index of total market cap, so it's not held to any TA that I'm aware of. Like you can't do anything with this. I mean, you can look at it, of course, and you get some statistical information off of it, but like it wouldn't be respected by TA. If it does, you know, it's coincidental, but if it's anything, it's just a representation of the Bitcoin chart. Because Bitcoin is a majority of the total market cap, so the total market cap is going to reflect how Bitcoin looks. Now this zone over here, right, is very similar to what we're seeing, but you could see the similarities as far as the big run up, right, the drop down, the push up, and then the drop, sideways range, big push down, come back up for the retrace, bled out for a little while, and then stair step back up, and where we are right now. So that's what you're looking at as far as total market cap. Then if you're asking about this line here, that would have been flipped from resistance to support, and is currently acting as support right here. Cool? Got it. All right, cool. Awesome. You can say something about money flow in or out of the market. Yeah. Yeah, you can and you can't. That's a conversation for another time. Remember that market cap, right? So the total market capitalization is also a value, right? So if something is deemed to have less value, it doesn't necessarily mean that any money has left the market. It doesn't mean that money flow has flown out of the market. It just means that the value of all of the coins on the current market are worth less, right? So you could still be playing with the same $100 billion or $900 billion from November of 2017. It's just not worth $900 billion anymore. Now it's worth $120 billion. And so basically you take a 96% razor and slice it across everything that's available, you know, every possible coin that's available, and then you'll get the idea of, oh, hey, wait a minute, you know, maybe no money changed. It's just worth less than it was before. Just like when things are worth more, and let's say we go back up to $1 trillion in market cap, that doesn't necessarily mean that any new money came into the market whatsoever. But it does mean that the coins that are available to trade on the market are in total worth more. They're valued higher compared to the US dollar. All right, there's my short. That was my short take. That was my tiny little spiel. All right, but I think that will wrap it up for me. All of a sudden, we're creeping into the 3:30 zone a.m. and I have 4,000 things to do tomorrow, and I should at least get a few hours of sleep. All right, so I do very much appreciate you guys hanging with me, especially in this this different time for me. Hopefully it worked out better for some of you. Otherwise, tomorrow, without fail, I should certainly be around for the daily/weekly candle close, because that'll now be at a new time, because we just went out of daylight savings time. So it should be 7 p.m. Central for me. I will have to double check that. Of course, we could check right now. Let's see, XBT, USD. And let's take the 24-hour chart. And let's get the countdown is... Oh, man, I don't want to do that math right now. 15 and a half hours. That brings us to 4, 5, 6, 7, 12, 7 p.m. All right, so anyway, yeah, I will be back, hopefully, barring anything super crazy, 7 p.m. Central Time for the weekly candle close, which we'll take a look at the daily and anything that moved and yada yada yada. And we'll talk all sorts of cool things because that's what we do. All right, Marcos, you're very welcome. Snow, you're very welcome. Mark learned something again. That's awesome. I couldn't be any happier. All right. If one person learns one thing during all my ranting on here, then it's all worth it. All right. So thank you so much, everybody. Shankar, good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may live. For everybody out there, I do appreciate it. All right. So I want to see you guys on the exchanges making good, healthy decisions. And getting some gains out of there. All right. So happy trading, everybody.